guys, today I'm going to be doing an actual get ready with me with 0% planning. I don't do a whole lot of planning anyways when it comes to my videos, but I was just shooting an Instagram campaign video for this L'Oreal True Match eye cream and a concealer, so I do have that on right now, but I was going to do my makeup and shoot an empties video, and I was like, why don't we hang out? So there's no theme. I'm going to pick through the gigantic pile of makeup that I have here on my desk, and this is for the true subscribers who aren't here for new makeup or a particular point. You just want to hang. This video is for you. Let's get started. Not that you're not a true subscriber if you do want to only watch me for foundation reviews or food. You're true. You're here. Okay. Calm down, Samantha. Okay, so on my face, I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. I spoke about this in a recent video, kind of like a foundation dupes, sort of just talking about like my favorite foundations from particular categories. So this one I compared to the Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. I wouldn't say they're like exactly the same, but like similar vibes. This one actually has a better shade range than the Nars. I do plan on reviewing their new foundation, by the way. I'm just waiting for it to come in. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited because Nars has never disappointed me when it came to a foundation. I think ironically my least favorite was the Sheer Glow, which was so popular, but the Tinted Moisturizer is my absolute favorite. But I did like Sheer Glow, and I did like the long wear whatever they came out with. And yeah, I'm filming an empties video, and then later on today I have like a Skype call that's kind of like, I mean, it's not an audition, but it was like a, we want to meet you on Skype and see what you're like kind of thing. So it's like almost worse than an audition or an interview because there's like nothing I can prepare. It's solely about my personality. So yeah, we'll see on that one. So yeah, nothing major today in makeup, just a pretty chill, like you could consider this almost a foundation routine. I think I'm happy. Like that concealer is a little bit lighter coverage because it's kind of this like skincare makeup hybrid, but I think I'm okay with that coverage. I'm just gonna brighten it up a little bit with the Makeup Revolution Bacon Blot, which is part of my Project Pan, which I uploaded in January and never revisited, which I knew was going to happen, and I told you guys. I told you it was coming, but I definitely have hit pan on it. I think I had hit pan in January, but not as much. So I'm just going to pat this under the eyes, and it's a Makeup Revolution's available at Shoppers now, but I'm not sure if they're selling this. I feel like I went to look to link it, and I didn't see it there, but it could depend. That was just online. It may depend in store and whatnot. They've got tons of new brands and stuff now. This is still the powder I'm using pretty much all the time to either use as a powder foundation or to set my face. The Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Complexion Powder. I really love it. I reviewed it. I did see, however, I know some people were asking me and I didn't know at the time, but they are discontinuing the Peach collection, which sucks because I feel like that's such a good line. It was a really nice matte foundation that wasn't too matte. Decent shade range. I freaking love the original Just Peachy palette. And I didn't particularly like the new Born This Way matte. So I think that that's a shame. Like, why? There must be a reason. But it's just like, they must not be making enough money off of it. That's the only reason that brands make those decisions generally. Would be that they're not making, I mean, that's how, you know, let's be honest, they're driven by money. There's no problem with that. But they must not be making enough money, or it's like harder to produce or something. But it's like, if people really do love it as much as they say, that it's interesting that they take it away, but it must not be. It must just be the fact that like it's being taken away and then people are speaking about it, but in reality, people aren't actually buying it as much as the other lines. Like, ironically, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. I quite like it in the shade Tan. But ironically, in talking to other YouTubers, pretty much everyone I've ever spoken to has said the videos that are requested the most are the least watched. So it's like, you know, sometimes I'll get a comment that'll be like, oh, I want a tutorial for this look. And I know if I upload a video that's labeled like blah, blah, blah tutorial, nobody's going to watch it. Maybe if I redid the look and called it a get ready with me, perhaps. But like, for example, my 3 looks 1 palettes videos are always, were, when I was doing them, very highly requested. They took the most work of any video, and unless I got that video up like the day the palette launched, it would kind of flop in comparison to like the work I would put into a favorites video, which consistently does well. And yeah, just, it's very interesting that what people request doesn't get watched. So as a YouTuber, you need to find that balance of like, doing the things that are requested, doing the things that I really love that I think may be helpful to you or I think are fun, doing the videos that are going to bring in new people. For example, like if a new collection launches or something, trying to be on top of that, that's going to bring new eyeballs. Then there's the type of videos that I know will do well over time, like a foundation review will continue to grow year after year because people will continually be searching for that, for their shade, how it wears, whatever it may be. I don't know if that's interesting to you, but that's kind of my thinking on how I approach the types of videos I do. So it's like a combination of like things I know are just for you, things for me, things for new, things for like, you know, the OG subscribers that I know are going to watch my Sims videos or my food videos that like nobody else will want to watch, or a vlog. I don't know if that kind of insight is interesting to you, but I always love to know some like semi behind the scenes stuff of how people approach their channels. And that's just me. That's not going to be every YouTuber. But also, like, although I do approach it that way, they're all videos that I stand by. You know, it's nothing that I ever feel like pressured to make. There's certain things that I'm like, I don't know that I would necessarily be that interested in this foundation. I'm going to review it anyways because people are asking questions. You know, there's things that I buy. I might buy like more foundations than I would normally buy because I know that you want to see it in videos. But this is a Gen Nude blush in that peach though. I can't find my, the blush that I love from them in Mykonos. I don't know where that is. It must be in a travel bag or something. But this is a really pretty one too. Beautiful shade. I've been loving this brush for blush. It's the Spotlight Duster from Sigma. And I have videos on my favorite blushes. No, sorry. Well, yes, but favorite brushes too. I always get that question. I'll leave that playlist down below. For my brows, I'm still loving this Velour Fluff and Brow pencil. It's like this weird 3-in-1 gold telescope. But I'm actually getting my brows done for the first time since February in like a week or 2. So that's exciting. But I still have been loving, I know I mentioned it in a recent favorites video, that kind of hair removal product. I really like that for the face and for the brows for maintaining. But yeah, what are you guys up to? I was talking about on my Instagram stories yesterday, for me, if you follow me on Instagram, audiobooks, and how I've always felt like I'm not as smart as other people because I don't read regularly. And not only do I not read regularly, I find no enjoyment in reading. It doesn't matter the subject matter or anything. Like if it's a book, it's like I just feel this immense pressure to enjoy it, which just sucks all the fun out of it. And I was saying that I feel like a lot of it has to do with school. You know, you were kind of forced into reading things, which like is good, like you should be reading, but it just sucked the joy out of it. But then you also feel this like external pressure, although no one has ever said it to me, that like people are like, oh, what are you reading? I'm reading this. Immediately just makes me feel self-conscious and bad. And I'm like, I'm watching an old season of Love Island, you know? And for some reason that stopped me from enjoying audiobooks. Because I was like, it just felt like, again, like it's not a real book, but like I love podcasts. And no one ever told me an audiobook wasn't a real book. I mean, I'm sure there's like some book people out there that feel that way, and that's their problem, not mine. Sorry, you snooty. But yeah, I don't know. So I started an audiobook this week and I'm loving it. Use the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. But yeah, so I just bought it off the Apple bookstore thing. But it's funny because I actually bought the real book first, thinking they were all audiobooks, and then it like opened up and it was a bunch of pages and I was like, so anyways, I bought both, but yeah, I'm really loving it. If you have a library card as well, I gotta get a Toronto library card. There's an app called Libby that has a bunch of free books that's through the library. And I know a lot of people use like Audible and things like that. But now that I've started, I'm like, ooh, I'm on the audiobook train. I'm doing something kind of self-helpish right now, which I don't know if it's because I've gotten like a little bit older, but I'm more into it. I was never, ever into self-help stuff before. Not that I didn't think I needed any help, because I knew I did, but she's got issues. But I don't know, I never took it on before, really. Because for me, I think the problem is with some self-help stuff, it just seems like I'm a pretty realistic person. I'm pretty, I feel like fairly self-aware, which like feels like a scary thing to say, because I don't know, a lot of people could be like, you're not self-aware, and that's so ironic that you think you are. But yeah, so I've been liking that, and I'm excited to get into some more stuff and some mystery. I kind of cooled it a little bit on true crime. It's not that I was like scared, but it was just kind of overwhelming me. So many of the stories that I listened to, like I was listening to a lot of Dateline, and it's just like families being ripped apart and lying and secrets, and it was just like really weighing heavy hearing all these people who, I don't know, it was just weighing on me a little bit. So I started listening to as well This American Life again. It's an incredibly hard podcast to describe. I'm using this bronzer on my eyes. It's an incredibly hard podcast to describe, but I just say listen to it. You can download their app, which has all of the, I think, stories and segments, or you can just do it on the, like the podcast thing. And it's just the most interesting, like, they'll choose a subject and then they'll do like 3 or 4 stories or interviews or whatever it may be throughout the course of it, and you learn so much, but you learn it in such an interesting way. Sometimes it's funny, it's sad, but you don't feel like you're learning. It has amazing like conversational, like if you're looking for like feeling like, you know, I don't have things to talk to people about, like it gives me great stories. I'm like, have you heard about this freaking guy? Like one sticks out in my mind about this. It was a story about this pirate, like very long time ago. But he wasn't actually a pirate. He was just this rich guy who decided he wanted to be a pirate, but then he was like the shittiest pirate ever. And I was like, that is just such a funny concept to me. And like all the other pirates like made fun of him and stuff. And like, this is a real dude. And I'm like, wow. These are just things I never considered. I don't know, maybe that's a bad example, but it's a great podcast. You learn a lot. They do topical things. They do funny stuff. It's great. Gonna make use of this Pacifica palette. I did a video testing out some Pacifica makeup a little while back. I'll link that down below. I'm really just grabbing for it because it's right here, not because I'm obsessed with the palette. It's a fine palette. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but like maybe we start a book club. Do we start a book club? That allows for reading or audiobooks, no judgy zones. It's L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. Kind of into it. Let me go know if you guys would be interested in something like that. And then I don't know how we would discuss, if it would be like a Zoom call, even though I kind of hate, I'm like so sick of video calls, but if we do it like that, or if it's just like a Facebook group or something that we can just generally chat in, or like, hey, I'm reading this, do you guys want to focus on this book, or I don't know. And it could also be like true crimey as well, perhaps. Because I was looking for a way to chat with you guys more about true crime, because we always have such good conversations, and I don't know, I value you all so much, and you know, whether or not you comment or chat with me on Instagram and stuff, like it's so appreciated. But yesterday, like I was posting about my kind of, not fears, but a little bit of embarrassment, I guess, around, you know, reading maybe 2 books in the past 10 years, and so many of you were like, I can relate, I feel the same way. And it's just like, it's interesting to me whenever I hesitate to talk about things, not because I'm scared of the reaction, but just because I think this isn't interesting or it's not beauty based. I always get such a great reaction to certain random things that I just don't expect to, so that's always such a delight. That was the Maybelline, the Falsies Mascara Lash Lift, and this is Lash Sensational. I don't know if I've ever used this one. The NYX Away We Glow Illuminating Powder. It's pretty. Not too glowy. And then for my lips, I think I'm going to do a combination of these two. Love these from Maybelline SuperStay ink crayons. The more nudish one is in the shade Lead the Way, and then more pink is Seek Adventure. I'm Southern now, or whatever that accent was. I wouldn't say these are like completely as long wearing as the liquid, but still long wearing and more creamy in texture. And that's it. Very simple. I know this was a very random video, but I kind of just felt like blabbing to you and hanging out for a little bit. Let me know what's up with you guys, if you're into the idea of a book club, how you would like that to work, what you think that might, you know, if that would be fun or anything like that. I don't know. I'm always just looking for more ways to connect with you. And I think something like that, that's like slightly offline, it might be a little bit fun, even though it wouldn't be fully online, but you get what I mean. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!